Greetings from beyond the screen. Happy New Year. We're back with the first video for 2026. I'll be talking about a topic I've covered twice on stream already. It is just due to the bizarre nature of the reaction to particular mods and Marvel Rivals that has me talking about this in a full-on video. As of, I believe, November, December of 2025, modders decided that they were no longer happy with plain old female characters. Instead, they were craving something much more masculine. And so they decided that they would be turning a number of female characters into male characters via mods. As of recording this video, there's one for Emma Frost, Angela, Invisible Woman, Luna Snow, and Mantis. There might be more, however, I am not aware. Moving on, the particular reaction that these mods garner from the internet is a mixed bag. You'll often find femboy appreciators, some gay men, and even some women, though they are a minority within a minority, that appreciate the skins that they get to dawn via modding. However, you then do have very odd individuals that take extreme issue with this, so much so that they voice their dislike to the world. And for me, I find that entirely idiotic, as well as a waste of time and energy. I've seen a plethora of mods on Nexus that I disagree with, yet you can go through my timeline, you can go through my video content, you won't actually see me voicing my distaste, because there's no point in mentioning it. I'm only going to encounter these particular things if I'm actively on Nexus, or two, if I've installed the mods. So let's look at the first instance of disagreement with femboys and twinks being in Marvel Rivals. From a Twitter user, I can't actually see their name, the Zexie? I actually do not care. Why am I even bothering with the pronunciation? Twitter user 1 is what they'll be referred to going forward. And they say, am I too woke, or are the Sue and Angela male mods icky due to a fact a lot of the character has to do with them being powerful women? Sue being a mom and Angela being a lesbian. When I initially read that, I malfunctioned, short-circuited, due to the sheer stupidity that was radiating off this particular tweet. When you say that these characters have central focus on them being powerful women, it becomes redundant for you to say that when you mention Sue being a mom and Angela being a lesbian. There are multiple characters within Marvel comics that are lesbian, that are mothers. It just doesn't make sense that with these particular two characters, their ability to give birth and their sexual preference suddenly makes them characters that are well written as well as powerful. It seems it's more a case of these characters are female and I don't want mods existing that happen to genderbend them. It doesn't stop there, unfortunately. We also have Rogue Punk, because this is actually a name I can make sense of. And they have a transgender flag. Why would a trans person have an issue with mods making female characters into twinks, and these twinks can be classified as femboys? It's not like the transgender community takes issue with femboys, because femboys actually put in effort to wanting to be convincing in their aesthetic. And what Rogue Punk says is this: Grok, can you ban this misogynist? And a common through line that you'll see with these kind of posts when it comes to disagreeing with the existence of the mods is that they'll either make a claim of misogyny or simply outright homophobia, though I don't think it's that extreme. It's more just a case of women tend to take issue with anything that challenges their need for attention. Without it, they will die. And so if they have any kind of competition, feminine looking men, well, they're out of a job. And immediately, we see another case of misogyny from Izzy. The concept of turning female characters male, something ain't right. Y'all just male centered. And right within that tweet is a short 4-second video of an annoying black woman. Truly, I am not surprised. Then we find one that truly had me wondering if I had somehow been transported into Looney Land, because what this person said was just outright insane. The tweet in mention came from Boy. Yes, that is what their username is, Boy. If you want to talk about user handles, then it's Lillian's Impact. They then quote tweet a video of Invisitwink and say, "These people are fake gay. Us real gay boys only play as the girls, honey. What we have here is a case of pick-me fag. It's where you're a fag and you want to be a pick-me." And then someone responds to them and says, "I prefer pretty boys, especially if they're POC, which is very rare in all games too, lol." Now, obviously, we can see the kind of people they surround themselves with. Vacant, vapid individuals that seem all too concerned with representation, which is unimportant at the end of the day. Relatability is much more important than whether or not the character looks like you. And the boy responds by saying, "I like pretty boys. Do, sometimes. I'm really picky though. But this is not great looking, and it's replacing Sue fucking Storm, who is legit such a fabulous and amazing character." And I am sorry. How exactly is a mod replacing the character? In order for you to see Sue Storm be replaced, you would need to go through the active effort of modding your game. And it's a little bit of an involved process. You need to get a third-party mod that would basically act as the authenticator for the mods that you wish to install. Then you need to make a choice on which mod you are going to install. You could install the Genderbend for Invisible Woman. You could even go further and go and get the voice mod that adds male voice lines for instead of the traditional female ones. That requires time and effort on your part. So the only way Sue Storm could be replaced is if this became the official standard for the character. Given that that's not the case, it would just be another usual case of women overreacting and taking anything that happens in the world as a personal slight against them. Why would you call a mod misogynistic unless you particularly perceive that as a personal insult against you? If you then look at it like that, it makes sense why a bunch of probably childless, single women, along with a few men pretending to be them, taking issue with mods, which ultimately at the end of the day is something you need to participate in. And if you take issue with the existence of it, well, you don't have much going on in your life. You're probably a sad individual. I think that's about it, folks. And remember, I'm always a fell away.